more women, then your organization and your society will be much better. Been really trying to lead by example. I really wanted to lead by example as I preach. When you just preach, you don't do it, then nobody will follow you. I have changed the whole this landscape of the United Nations. When I first came, that was 62 years after this organization was born. There were very few women in the UN system. When I say women, senior decision-making position holders, I have brought this up to almost 45 to 55% now. I have appointed women staff coming from all around the world to very senior-most positions in the United Nations. Among them, there are some people who have really shattered this glass ceiling, perception of glass ceiling. What is that? Women, they cannot control these soldiers or military or security matters. I have appointed 5 women who are the heads of United Nations mission, where under whom from 20,000 or 12,000 or 1,000 least soldiers are under their control. Even they are higher than force commander, military commanders are there under their control. For that, you must have read in the newspapers and media, and I also have been following, and there has been increasing voices that after 70 years, it is high time for any woman, distinguished woman, to lead this organization. I have taken note that there is a very strong support for that. But to be frank with you, it's not in my hands, it's in the hands of member states to decide who should be my next successor. President Obama will have no voice in who should be next to President of the United States. It's a U.S. citizen. Likewise, but personally, I believe it's a good idea, but I sincerely hope that the next Secretary General of the United Nations will be the most qualified, most distinguished and capable person. But hopefully, let's hope that that most capable, distinguished person will be a woman.
Thank you very much. The next question comes from Emma Pizarro, who is in Professor Galvez's Ethnography of Latin America class. And she says, migration and human mobility are a growing phenomenon that the world leaders are struggling to deal with. What is the best possible way for the United Nations and government leaders to effectively manage this ongoing situation that seems to have no end in sight?
Again, I think this has been emerged as one of the most serious global problems. I explained at length about what United Nations is doing. Any one of the refugee camps, the conditions are there. However, we've been really trying to provide good assistance. Is miserable, very heartbreaking. It affects me as a person, even many days, just because of the images, lingering images. Then in European countries, they now still have a lot of political debate, and even today there is going to be a European Union summit meeting. I highly commended her compassionate leadership and compassionate leadership. But when it comes to each and every country, nobody wants to have all these foreign guests, unknown foreign guests in their soil. I mean, urging world leaders, this is a human rights issues, this is a human dignity issues. Based on United Nations Charter, you must show compassionate leadership based on international humanitarian and human rights, and based on shared responsibilities. Try to provide some official channel of receiving migrants and refugees. There are many ways. For example, academic communities, they can expand the scholarships for those people, that they don't need to risk their lives to come to European countries. If they know that there are some open channels, if they provide job opportunities and try to integrate them into their societies. But it may be easier to say than doing when it comes to the countries. And that's why, end of this month, I'll be going to Geneva to convene the resettlement conference in Geneva. And in September, I'm going to convene the summit meeting on September 19th at the United Nations, a summit meeting on large global movement of refugees and migrants at the United Nations. President Obama also is showing a strong support, and he's also going to convene one of his conference under his chairmanship, and I'm going to have the world's leaders meeting on this matter. So we are working very hard.
Thank you very much. We have here today, up toward the top, a lot of students from the high school across the street that are going to have to leave shortly. But before they do, I just want to read a question from one of them who says, I am a high school senior who is interested in a career in international relations. What kind of education and other experiences are necessary to be considered for a UN position?
Welcome to the United Nations. We welcome young, talented people who really want to work in the United Nations, with the United Nations. We always want to have a new blood with a new vision and new commitment and new energy. That's why we start from internship and all regular recruitment processes. Those who really want to join the United Nations should cultivate some global citizenship. One should have a strong commitment based on human rights and compassion. What I like to tell young people are always dynamic and full of energy and full of passion. But what most of the people lack is compassion for others. People just tend to think about only themselves and their own family members, not neighbors and compassion. Then global citizenship. And try to cultivate your language proficiency, because most of you speak fluent English, but if you can speak some other one of these official languages, that will really help your chance being admitted to the United Nations.
Thank you. We have just one more question. This question comes from Raven Azuna, who's in anthropology and human rights, and she would like to know what the United Nations and the World Health Organization are doing and are planning to do to suppress the Zika virus this summer.
Yes, that is another serious one. I just briefly mentioned about Zika virus. As I said, there are many unknown viruses here in our world. We've been suffering during my time as a Secretary General. H1N1 really shocked the world. then Ebola terrified whole world. And now we are hearing about the Zika virus. And there are many, at least 10 neglected tropical diseases on which people do not invest much in terms of research and manufacturing the vaccines. Zika was there since 1940s, but has not been much given attention. But Zika in itself, I'm told by WHO and the experts, is rather mild one, except for pregnant women. This the neurological complications that are suspected to be linked to Zika has been declared a public health emergency of international concern by World Health Organization. I met Dr. Margaret Chan several times of the World Health Organization. Yesterday even we had telephone video conferences. The World Health Organization and United Nations are in contacting all the partners. We are also working with on all fronts countries to control Zika virus. Priorities are to enhance surveillance, monitoring, and provide training on this clinical management and diagnosis and mosquito control. All these are what we are doing. A lot of companies and research institutions are working on a number of products, vaccines, and therapies, and this is what we are doing. So we are very much on alert to address and to eradicate this Zika virus. Fortunately, we learned very valuable lessons in our dealing with the Ebola. As I said, we have many peacekeepers and missions around the world, but we never established such mission related with the disease. For the first time in UN history, 2014, I established the health-related special mission and mobilized the whole resources and energy and power and political will. US helped a lot. United Kingdom and France, they sent their troops to each one of the 3 Western African countries. We have learned very valuable means and know-how and lessons, so we are going to do all what we should do to eradicate this Zika virus.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This concludes our event. Let's give the secretary. There will be a reception as usual in the faculty dining room for those who wish to attend. Thank you very much.
They are an extremely underrepresented part
Right.
of the world as a whole, and just like human rights in general and social justice and the work and the youth working for social.
I thought it was very informative, and also I thought it was a very important point that Herbert Lehman, who was governor here,
Yes.
and having these lectures, that he would have this gentleman here who he had helped in the past with the UN, and how it kind of ties together. Even though Herbert Lehman is no longer with us,
Right.
his heartfelt belief and his principle still carries on to this day. This gentleman here,
Right.
the Secretary of State, would continue on with his work and show how important it is for each individual to aspire to be compassionate and have compassion, and to remedy situations, no matter whether it's destructive on any level, put a stop,
Right.
and to help, to continue to help people.
been there for like a year, I think. Right. To the head there, yeah.